This is not a virus. This is a protein. It's an RNA protein. So you cannot catch COVID from this.
Okay, good to know. Yeah.
But having worked for a long time in the field, I have many patients that come in and go, "Doc, I'm not getting the flu shot. I got the flu shot once and I got the flu." I say, "That was coincidence." No, it wasn't. And you try to convince them. But in this situation, you really cannot get the COVID from the vaccine.
So it's not a live virus.
It is not a live virus. So
let's talk to folks who are here. Throw some more questions out, and we'll try and be as technologically orderly as possible. But just unmute yourself and jump in, and we'll see if we can make it work that way.
Hi, hi, this is Jane, Dr. Weber. So we're gonna get the two, hi. So we'll get the injection, and then 2 weeks later, we'll get the next one at the same place, you know?
yeah, I believe that is the case. I think it is a 3-week. I could be wrong, but 2 weeks, but it could be 3 weeks. And I had my shingles shot last year, and that they wouldn't give me until they already knew that I could get the second one.
Right.
So I think it's the same situation. Once you sign up for the first one, they're gonna make sure you have availability to the second one.
It's 3 weeks, Eric.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Bridget.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And so they'll be 3 weeks apart, and everybody's got to come on the day that they say they're coming. There's not flexibility around that. They're trying to do this on a massive scale. And so it's sort of damn the torpedoes. We'll do all we can logistically to make that possible.
But, you know, you just made me think of something, Bill. I saw something that came out from Mike Loft, the CEO of the hospital. For the very, very important, like the ICU, the CCU, certain places in the hospital, they are not going to inoculate everybody at the same time. Because if people are, you know, get mild symptoms and they have to call in, so there might be, I don't know if CVS will allow this, but I think a very great decision would be to, you know, get the first, like, hold back on everybody. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Ideally, that would be possible. And it's a national conversation going on within our part of the healthcare system right now, but there's not a provision for that. So they're sort of saying you're going to have to let the chips fall where they may, and we're going to have to deal with it in the interest of getting all of the people that they want vaccinated. Now, our polling has suggested that only 10% of us are saying, no, I'm not going to do it. Okay. I would guess that 10% will definitely be working the next day. But yeah, it'll take. The other thing that I've been told in a couple of other groups is that the side effects, like next day kind of thing, are not necessarily as bad as you might read about in the FDA disclosures, and that those who are getting it already, and so you're looking at real experience, are not having significant levels of people that, you know, can't come to work the next day. That's anecdotal. But.
Yeah.
So Mary Mazer here. So just a couple of Tylenol will probably cover it. Is that the recommendation? Is just if you need to.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with Tylenol.
Yeah.
And my arm hurt after the shingles shot. That's usually the flu shot. I don't have any reaction at all. I thought the shingles was a little tough. Tetanus never bothered. Like the other shots I've had never bothered me. Even the Pneumovax. So, but now that I'm 60 as of yesterday,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, we're
I'm
not
getting
all going to sing. That would be a bad
I got to get my shot.
bet. Is it also true, Dr. Weber, that if you are experiencing some of that afterwards, it's a sign that the vaccine is actually working?
Well, it's definitely a sign that you're having a reaction to something. So yes, the whole process here is to stimulate your immune system to rev up, so that it can start to produce antibodies if you get infected, you're ready to go, So,
Right.
yeah, I guess if you feel nothing, I don't think you got to feel that you're not protected. So if you don't have a reaction, I'd say that's good too.
That's certainly good.
So, Dr. Weber or Bill, what about, like I have a sulfa allergy. I've never had a problem with the flu shot. So, I mean, don't feel like I'm concerned, but I've had a reaction with sulfa where my temperature went up to 104. I just was wondering, what do we do in that case if someone does react and
Well,
after taking it?
yeah, if somebody reacts with a high grade fever, that's a whole situation. But sulfur, there's no sulfur compounds in the vaccines for a good reason. I mean, there's no sulfur, or there's no penicillin derivatives. Egg used to be a big thing, so they've kind of weaned that out of the process of the manufacturing.
Okay.
Certainly not. If you're allergic to Bactrim, you'd be fine with this. I think. Yeah. I mean, there's no
Okay.
sulfur there.
All right. Thank you.
But that
I
being
just,
said, if you get the virus, if you get the vaccine, and you do have a significant reaction, you need to tell us. You need to tell your primary care. Because like I said, you can get like a local cellulitis from anything you inject, and you can also Tylenol would be good. Maybe a little Benadryl. This is the typical things you do for a reaction like that. I have not read anything that other than people that have severe allergies. So, if we all work at Liberty Commons, they come in with a list of allergies this long. I know they're all drugs, and some of them are, tree nuts and this and that.
Right.
Those people, I might, if they argued with me, I go, all right, let's wait for next round.
mm, can I just follow up on the allergies? A couple of years ago, my main concern is a couple of years ago, I had the idiopathic hives, and they have no clue. I mean, they tested me for everything. And I had to go like over a year, 2 shots a month for over a year before we felt like we could stop. I mean, along with the Benadryl to begin with, and the Zyrtec and the Claritin, and
Right.
it was really bad. And so it makes me a little bit nervous because we don't know what it was from. It finally cleared up kind of on its own.
What were you getting injected with?
You know what? I don't even remember. It was Dr. Scleroux that I had. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, that's an interesting thing because that's probably IV. You probably got IV immunoglobulin. Does that sound familiar?
It's been a few years now. It's probably been like 4 or 5 years since that happened. So I could call and find out, but I don't remember.
And it wasn't in a time frame where you had an injection and you got this. You didn't know what gave you this hives.
No, and I went once a month for 2 shots. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to have 2 shots. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually that's just one of those things that haunts you in a way. But that probably because nobody knows that like you said, it was idiopathic. Nobody knows what you were getting reacted to. But I could see where if you had a reaction like that, you'd like want to second guess things.
I know, but then it's like, oh, I really kind of want to get it, but it's just, I don't know.
One other thing I saw relative to some of the questions about waiting is that what we're being told is that next round, and I don't mean the second shot, but I mean the next opportunity could well be many months down the road before it's available, that we would be able to do it sort of the same way we do flu vaccine and doing it ourselves inside. That's not to say you couldn't find another way to it, but it's being phased in to the general population over many months. So the concern for folks thinking they wanted to wait was that it might be a long wait.
Dr. Weber, do you think if I call Dr. Sclerow up, maybe he would?
Yeah, you know what? In your case, if you feel comfortable, I don't know if Paul retired.
Oh, maybe he did.
Yeah, because I helped recruit the new guy. His name is John Johnson, but I would think your records should be there.
Yeah.
You know, your records are there. So if that would make you feel comfortable, I would do it. I absolutely would do that.
Okay. All right.
Because you have nothing to lose, and like Bill just mentioned, you don't want to be like the last person to get COVID because they didn't get the shot, you know. And I'm personally a little bit, you know, I'm just tired of all this stuff. So I'm, you know, and I got allergy shots myself for years and years and years. I had a bunch of allergies, but I haven't had an allergic reaction since I was like 20. So that was 40 years ago.
You want to join me at being first in line?
Yeah, why not?
We'll cut the ribbon. Renee, you want
I'll tell you. I think even talking to other doctors, you know, everybody is it's new, you know, we're humans. We're like, you want somebody else to test the water, but in this case, I don't see it as having a major reaction. I don't think I'll have a major reaction at all.
Are there
Oh, I thought I was going to be first with you.
Sure.
Are there any particular kinds of allergies that are of concern?
Not that I'm aware of, Bill.
I don't think so, but Kayla, we'll look at what we've seen for info, and we can make sure we're correct about that.
And is there any concerning substances in the vaccine?
Oh, no, like I don't think they're using embryos in egg allergy. I don't know if it's a thimerosal-free vaccine, but that's been the anti-vaxxers, you know, go to. Oh, thimerosal causes autism. I'm not going to, you know, give my kids the measles shot. So then they circumvented that by getting a thimerosal-free version. I actually don't know that answer, but that's a good question that we should probably ask. The manufacturer probably, I haven't looked at the website, but you know, you read the manufacturer website, it's like, this big long list, but.
That second question, so we can make sure we don't.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that we're still going to have to wear masks and stuff after we get our vaccines. Is that true?
Yeah, I think what we're going to see ourselves wearing masks for a long time. And the question of, and I don't mean just at work or just in doing our work. Everybody will not be vaccinated, obviously, as well. So how that all shakes out will also remain to be seen a bit.
Yes.
I see a few people unmuted, but I don't know if that means you have a question. If you do, though, feel free to.
I have a question. So do you have a sense of how many vaccines you're going to be given? Like, is there going to be, you only get 150 and you have 300 people that want it?
No, I believe the plan is that we'll get what we say we need. So the inquiry today was not very questioned, Denise, how many? And I said between the Liberty Commons and Victorian patients and residents and us, that could be about 450.
Wow. Okay.
And so they would come in planning to do that in a day. The residents that they could do, like at the Victorian, they could bring them out into a common space. They would seek to do that. For the Liberty Commons folks for whom that would be more difficult, they will go bedside. And then for us, what we're anticipating probably just taking the outpatient clinic space and having people be able to come in through there. We'll have to figure out how to stagger that based on numbers and time. but that's info we don't really see yet.
Okay, thank you.
Who's going to give the shots?
CVS personnel, so I'm not sure that it's pharmacists or techs per se, but it's them. And we'll also have EMS on site.
And Bill, the consents for families, they can do that ahead of time, correct? For folks that are like invoked?
Yeah, what we actually did, and we're doing this, another one of these with families at 7 o'clock. But yesterday, we put out to all of the families, including a link to look at the consent form, and they can actually consent by replying in an email, and that will work. You'll also need to sign consents, but you can just do that live the day of. But we're already working to compile all that resident and patient information ahead of time, because we don't know if they're just going to say, we're coming in 2 or 3 days. It truly might be that fast.
That's good, because that's what I've been telling families. So I just want to make sure I had the correct message to give to them. So that's good. And
Yeah,
tonight will help, obviously.
Michelle,
If any of you are getting questions from families about just how to do the consent, it's on the COVID page of the website for them to click that link and do it that way.
Okay.
Michelle, I was going to ask you, for the flu shot, do the families consent to that every year, or is it?
I believe it's every year that they have to do that. Yes, just like, consenting for medication. They have to do it yearly.
Okay.
Well, when you said we're going to have an MS on site, I don't know what that means.
No, EMS, rescue.
Oh, EMS. Okay.
Okay.
So some of the people have already been vaccinated at other nursing homes, correct? There's been at least one in the state?
I don't know of that, Dawn. I have not seen that.
Because I'm just wondering what their reactions to it was. Eric said that there wasn't many reactions, but we know this from that or from some.
Well, I think people are looking back to what the UK had, like, I think 2 significant reactions. And nobody died. In fact, in the trial, which I remember reading, I wish I lost the paper, but I'll find it, from the hospital. There was, in the double-arm study, there were 6 deaths. Okay. 4 in the placebo group, 2 in the people that got the vaccine. None of the deaths were related to the vaccine.
Right.
So it's considered an ultra safe, vaccine. So,
okay.
But I don't know. You have to think, if you're one of those people that's going to react, you're going to react. Yeah. But I think that the chance of that is really small, and definitely the benefit outweighs the risk here, in my opinion.
So just 4 in the placebo group means that 4 of the people that died didn't even get the vaccine. They got the fake. They got the fake. Okay. I think the point of the thing is, of all of the people that died in the trial, none of them died of COVID. They died of a heart attack, or everybody that dies gets reported, right? So, you could have pneumonia and die if it's not related to the flu. You had a heart attack and a stroke, whatever. So it's considered a safe vaccine. We'll know after they give out 10 million doses, right?
And there's a reporting portal for any adverse events, and it has algorithms that determine if it's a rare side effect or if it's not to be worried about. And there's also an app that people can download where they get daily check-ins for like the first week after they've had it, if they're having any signs and symptoms and that kind of thing. So that might be helpful for people to kind of feel a little bit more reassured.
On our website, Renee?
I don't think they're posted yet, but.
And I just had one question too. Going back to the allergy question, I'm sure we could all share our specific, situations, but, I would imagine that it would only be allergic reactions related to something that could be in a vaccine. Like, for example, I have bad allergies, but they're environmental allergies, and I have a pretty severe peanut allergy as well. But I've never had a reaction to any medication or vaccine. So generally, we're seeing that that's good. I just feel like I have to ask. But, you know, mine are nothing related to a vaccine. So should be good, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. My son has a severe peanut allergy, and I mean,
Okay.
EpiPen and the whole bit. And he has asthma. Those actually go together.
Yep, I have asthma too.
Yes. So, and he gets the flu vaccine.
Okay, yeah, and I've gotten the flu, I've been fine. So the only thing is when my allergies flare up, they tend to, like you said, coincide with asthma. So when I have allergy season, it's the asthma. So that's the one thing, of course, with this this virus and this vaccine, that's the one thing I'm worried about. But I have an EpiPen, so I'm gonna bring it with me and have it. So should be good. I just want to make sure.
Oh, no, I believe you're the perfect person for the vaccine because you don't want to get a viral respiratory illness. It's going to trigger your already preconditioned asthma situation, and then that's when you get in trouble.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you. I feel better.
You're welcome.
Another question that's been asked from time to time is how long will it last? And from what I've seen, that's not clearly known, but it is possible that it's something we need to get, you know, on a recurring basis, much like you do have to get a flu shot. But that will remain to be seen. So that's not a question that they've got a clear answer for yet.
I agree with that totally. In fact, they're already talking about a different strain.
Yikes.
Coming around.
We can't do this again, man.
No.
All right, we'll call this last call then. I hope it's been helpful. If you think of other questions, please get them in. You could either email Bridget, nominating Bridget, or Renee. How about that? And we'll do our best to get them, to get you the info that's out there. Meanwhile, spread the word that when it comes out that we've got a date, we've just got to mobilize and get everybody there who wants to be, and we'll have to do whatever the day requires to make that possible. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Only for your
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Thank you, Dr. Weber.
Thank you, Dr. Weber.
Get your snow shovels out.
Thank you.
God. Thank you.
Fuel up your cars. Bye.
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 How do I end this?